Under theory of production, we've taken part 1 of the theory of production. In our last class, we explained what production is. Today we are going to emphasize, our objective for the class today is on these 3 areas. We'll talk about the concept of factors of production, the characteristics of the factors that we'll talk about, and then we'll identify the reward for each of these factors. What is the reward that comes from it? So we're going to go to the first one. What is factors of production? We've known what production is in our previous class. If you've not watched that video, please go and watch that video. Today we will see these 3 areas. They refer to agents, components, or resources which are combined together to produce goods and services. They refer to agents, to components, to factors that are put together to produce goods and services. That is a factor of production. Those things that come together, that combine, that are brought together to make the production of goods and services possible. And we'll have 4 factors. We'll have land, we'll have labor, we'll have capital, and we'll have entrepreneur. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. If you have been following me on my commerce class, you know I've dealt with this, production and the factors of production. I'll put the link below so that you can watch that video. By the time you watch this, it will be clearer. So the factors of production they refer to agents, components, things that are brought together, things that come together to make the production of goods and services possible. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. All of these factors have to come together to make goods and services production possible. If there is no land, production process cannot be carried out. If there is no capital, production process cannot be carried out. If there is no labor, production process cannot be carried out. Then if there is no entrepreneur to put the other 3 factors together, there's not going to be production. So all of these components interrelate, interweave, come together. Vice versa, they are combination of factors that make production possible. So we have seen the first objective, the concept of production, factors of production. After we have seen this, let's see the next objective. What are the characteristics? We'll talk about land and what are the characteristics of land, labor, what are the characteristics, capital, what are the characteristics, then entrepreneur, what are the characteristics. Then we'll see. Out of the 4 factors we have mentioned, which we have explained, and the first factor, land, is one of them. I mentioned land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. Now let's see the characteristics of land. But before we see the characteristics of land, what is land? Land is a free gift of nature from God. And land is an immovable structure that cannot be carried about. It is fixed in a position. Land does not just mean just the earth's surface, the sand, but it goes beyond that. It means all the free resources that are found therein: water, forests, fish, gold, anything you can mine from the soil, from land, that is free gift that has been given to us naturally by creation, is referred to land. So what are the characteristics of land? 1, land is immovable. You cannot move a land. It's fixed in nature. That's one of the characteristics. 2nd, the supply of land is fixed. It's fixed in a place. Since it can't be moved, that means it's stable in one place. Then the 3rd one, land is a free gift. It is given to us by creation. It is not owned by any person. Land diminishes. If you farm on a farmland over a period of time without allowing it to fallow, without allowing it to rest over a period of time, you find out that the produce that comes out of it start diminishing in value. Your yield will not be as much as it is the first time you farm on it, the second time you farm on it, and so land diminishes as we use it over time. For those who are in the Niger Delta area where crude oil is extracted from the soil, you find out that most of the time where they have extracted oil from, the farmland become poor yield comes out as a result of it. If it is in the river, you see that it will damage the aquatic creatures in the sea or in the rivers. So it diminishes. Land has no cost of production. You don't add cost to to land. Like we will talk about in capital and the rest of them, land has no cost of production. So these are few of them. I mentioned 5. I have about 10. Go do more. See other ways you can add to the characteristics I've mentioned, but I've mentioned 5. Land is immovable. Land is supply of land is fixed. Land is a free gift of nature. It diminishes. And then land has no cost of production. Now let's see the second characteristics, which is labor. Characteristics is labor. Labor is human effort put into production. Labor has to do with human skills put into production. And these skills can be unskilled kind of skill and professional skills. So labor help in putting other production process to bring in goods and services. Human effort put into production process. Human skills put into production process. Human effort, human initiative, human creativity, human initiation put into the production process to come up with goods and services. That is labor. And we have the characteristics to labor, or characteristics of labor. 1, labor is mobile. It moves from place to place because it is human. You cannot fix a human in a place, not possible. It has to be a movable object. So humans move. Labor moves. Labor is skillful. It can be skilled, it can be unskilled. Labor is human factor because humans are involved. Human nature is involved. Humans use their skill, use their knowledge, use their ability to provide solution. Labor requires motivation. Humans are driven by motivation. If you don't motivate a human being, before you know it, the individual lost interest in the whole process. So labor is motivated. That's why we give reward, we give compensation, you give allowance, you increase wages, you increase salaries, because humans need to be motivated. They work by motivation. Do you have a child in the house? If the child is not motivated, sometimes you see the child not performing to its optimum. Labor has feelings. Labor can be sick. Labor can get angry. Labor can go on strike. Labor can agitate. Labor can be emotional because it is human efforts. Humans are involved. So these are the characteristics I will mention in this class. 5 I'm going to give. We'll have about 10 or 12. Add to your own. Leave me comment below the comment box. Tell me what you've added. I know there are more, but I just want to take it in brief. Go over them again and again. These 5 will stick. Read more and stick more to the ones you have learned here. Now let's go to the third factor of production. The next one is capital. What is capital? Capital is man-made assets that is put into production. Man-made wealth put into production. And these man-made wealth can be assets like machines, vehicles, heavy equipment used in production. It can be cash. that is used in running the production process. So it is man-made asset, man-made weight put into production process. And this weight can come in form of machineries or raw cash. Now, what are the characteristics of capital? One, capital is man-made because it is man's creativity. It's man's wealth. That is the first. Capital exists in different form. Why it exists in different form is because it can be in cash, raw cash, money. It can be in assets, fixed assets, current assets, machineries, and the rest of them that can come in different forms. Subject to depreciation. You have machines. If you have machine you're using to work, after some years they will start malfunctioning. Their lifespan starts going down. Their efficiency starts decreasing. Depreciation. Land depreciates after much usage and other things. It depreciates. But majorly, capital depreciates because things you use it for depreciate. Even your money depreciates. If there's inflation, the value of money will not be as it is when you first hold it. So it's subject to depreciation. Then ensure large-scale production because machineries are involved. Large-scale production is encouraged. Promote the division of labor. There is different sections that handle different production processes. That is the characteristics of capital. Man-made, exists in different forms, subject to depreciation, ensure large-scale production, and it promotes the division of labor because of different handling. Now let's go to the last factor, which is entrepreneur. And the last factor is entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is an individual who organizes, control, brings in other factors of production to make goods and services possible. It brings in land, labor, capital, perfects the process, and then bring it to life. If I've listened to my business study class on who an entrepreneur is and the qualities of entrepreneur, you understand this. But if you've not watched it, go back and watch this video. I'll put the link below the comments, below this video, so that you can listen to that class. We'll talk about the characteristics, the qualities, and who an entrepreneur is. But then, since he is the one that coordinates all other factors of production, what are the characteristics he possesses? One, he bears the risk. Because he comes up with a business idea, he perfects it and brings it to life. If he fails, he fails. If he proceeds or he progresses, he progresses. Organizes, he brings in other factors of production, land, labor, capital, to make a whole, bring them together to work to bring in goods and services. Decision making, he makes the decision. If he fails in his decision making, the business fails. If he succeeds, the business succeeds. So his decision is paramount to the survival of the business. Then controls other factors like I told you, land, labor, capital. It's all put together in this process. So we have seen the characteristics of labor, land, capital, and entrepreneur. Now, what are the rewards for each of these? What are the rewards for land, rewards for capital, rewards for entrepreneur, and the rest of them? Let's see the rewards that each of these possesses, which is the last objective for our class. Identify the reward for the factors of production. What are the rewards? Let's see that point. So to our last objective, identify the reward for the factors of production. The factors are land, labor, capital, entrepreneur. What are the reward that come as the result of it? Rent. Land gives us rent. That's the reward you have for land. You have buildings, you have factory, you have things that are put in the land. Rent is the wages you receive. You rent out your land, you sell it out. Rent is a reward. Labor, wages and salary, human effort. You pay them. That's what motivates them. You give them something to motivate them, wages and salary. Then for capital, capital is interest because you put in your money, human weight, to bring out profitability. So it is interest that you get from capital. Then for an entrepreneur goes into business to make profits. So the reward for land is rent, the reward for labor is wages and salaries, the reward for capital is interest, and the reward for entrepreneur is profits. That will be it on our economics class for today. I hope you find value for it. If you find value for the class, give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you've not subscribed, share our videos. If you know others that can benefit from the class, let them know, let them come over to subscribe. It's my pleasure being here, and always I want us to interact. This is not a monologue kind of class, not just me alone talking. It should be a dialogue between me and you. Give comment below the comment box. Tell us what you feel about what we do here. Ask your question below the comment box. Thank you for always dropping by. Until I come your way next time, thank you.